Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Arlington. I am Elizabeth Vanderputten and I'm honored to be one of the 4 new members of the Board of Trustees. I will look forward to the time that all of us can be together in this beautiful sanctuary. But in the meantime, it is a pleasure to welcome you to our service. Whether this is your first time or whether you're a long-term member, I hope you feel welcome. Today's service is very special. Our community members have gotten together to create something that should be joyful and fun, something that we all need in these times. Please join us after the service at a virtual coffee hour where you can meet and greet old and new friends and learn about more of what we do. Please continue to watch your inbox for ideas and activities that the church is putting together to keep us connected in these times. So thank you and welcome.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to try something a little bit different today on this 19th day of July 2020. We are going to do a service today about humor. We're going to do a service today that's going to be a very different way of doing things. We're going to be mixing it up a little bit. It's going to be very lighthearted. There will be jokes that have been submitted by the congregants in the middle of service. I want you to think along the lines of laugh-in. And if you're not old enough to remember laugh-in, think more along the lines of The Muppet Show, maybe. Saturday Night Live, but cleaner. We're going to try and be funny. And we're going to try and lighten the mood because things have been so rough lately. And we all could use a break. We all could use a moment to laugh. So I hope you take this opportunity to laugh. And I was thinking, who would be the best worship associate to help me do a service about humor and laughter?
Hey, Walter, I'm getting a little nervous about service on Sunday. I'm afraid people are going to expect us to be funny. I hope not.
Well, it is a service on humor. So there might be some element of funny that comes up. But I'm really hoping that we've got other people who are going to be involved with this, right? You said you got some help with the Kapplers, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I know Sophia is pitched in. Who else did you get to help us out with some of this stuff?
Oh, I got the Shepherd family and Warren Wright and maybe some others.
Warren? You got Warren Wright. Well, then I think the others can help pick up the slack for Warren when it comes to the funny. So I think we can rely on them to do some funny stuff. Sophia has got some wonderful music coming up. So we can be funny, but I don't think we really need to be funny. We've got a lot of other people going to help us out with the whole funny aspect. I don't do funny. I don't know about you.
Okay. Well, I guess we can go through with it. Good luck, Walter.
Thank you. Good luck to you, and keep me posted.
All right.
So the coronavirus restrictions have lifted. Yesterday I went to a general store. They wouldn't let me buy anything specifically.
Greetings. My name is Bill Fogarty, and it is my honor to be your worship associate today. For our call to worship, I have a reading I would like to share with you. It's from a book called The Book of Delights by Ross Gay. One day last July, feeling delighted and compelled to both wonder about and share that delight, I decided it might feel nice, even useful, to write a daily essay about something delightful. I remember laughing to myself about how obvious it was. I could call it something like The Book of Delights. I came up with a handful of rules. Write a delight every day for a year. Begin and end on my birthday, August 1. Draft them quickly. Write by hand. The rules made it a discipline for me, a practice. Spend some time thinking and writing about delight every day. Because I was writing these essays pretty much daily, confession, I did skip a few days, patterns and themes and concerns show up. For instance, I traveled quite a bit last year. I often write in cafes. My mother is often on my mind. Racism is often on my mind. Kindness is often on my mind. Politics, pop music, books, dreams, public spaces. My garden is often on my mind. It didn't take me long to learn that the discipline or practice of writing these essays brought forth a kind of delight radar. Or maybe it was more like the development of a delight muscle, something that implies the more you study delight, the more delight there is to study. A month or two into this project, delights were calling to me, write about me, write about me. Because it is rude not to acknowledge your delights, I tell them that though they might not become essays, they were still important, and I was grateful to them. Which is to say, I felt my life to be more full of delight. Not without sorrow or fear or loss or pain, but more full of delight. I also learned this year that my delight grows, much like love and joy, when I share it. And now for our chalice reading, I thought I would mix it up a bit and try a different chalice reading, taken from our hymnal. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community, in virtual community, to celebrate the glories and mysteries of this great gift of life. And I will let you in on a little secret for worship associates. One of the most pressure-packed moments is lighting the chalice. Anyway, welcome to our service.
Our email password was hacked again. This is the third time we'll have to rename the dog.
Have you ever laughed so hard that you started to cry? That has happened to me, and it often happens when I'm sitting around with my two brothers and my sister telling family stories. Family stories bring a lot of joy to me. I grew up in New Jersey, right outside New York City, and every Sunday we would go into the city and sit down with our grandparents and our aunts and uncles and cousins and just tell stories. It was a room full of storytellers, and one of the best was my Uncle Ambrose. So I'd like to share with you a story about Uncle Ambrose that he would tell about himself. It always makes me smile. As I tell the story, look for the part where Uncle Ambrose makes a mistake. So keep your ears open for this story. And it's right after what's called World War II in the 1940s, and Ambrose is living in New York City by himself in an apartment. And every day he goes to work. He's in New York City, so he takes the subway. Every day he wakes up, he takes the subway into his office, he comes home at night. Now when he comes home every night, they have evening newspapers in New York City then. And so he'd come out of the subway and he'd see the newsstand. And Jimmy the newspaper guy was there, and he'd take his nickel and he would just flip his nickel to good old Jimmy the newspaper guy and get his newspaper. Ambrose would get his newspaper, say thank you very much, and he'd walk home to his apartment. Well, one day, Uncle Ambrose is the first person in the family to get a car. He's very proud of this car, and on his first day of work with his car, he drives in to his office. And on his way home, he's driving home, and he sees the newsstand, Jimmy the newspaper guy. So he drives the car over to the side of the road, gets out of the car, leaves it in neutral there, and takes his nickel, and he tosses it to Jimmy, the newspaper guy. Doesn't toss it very well. And he gets his newspaper, and he just starts walking home. Yes, he started walking home. That's the mistake he made. His car is back at the newspaper stand. But what did he do? He didn't think about it. He went home, he read his newspaper, he had his dinner, he listened to the radio, and he went to sleep. He woke up in the morning, not thinking a thing. He has his breakfast, gets dressed for work, and then he realizes, oh, wait, where's my car? Where did I park my car? And he realizes he left the car down at the newspaper stand with the keys in them. So he rushes down the stairs, he runs over to the newspaper stand, and what does he see? His car is still there. The keys are still in the car. The car's run out of gas because overnight he left it in neutral, it just ran out of gas, but his car was still there, and he was so grateful. Now this is a story Uncle Ambrose would tell a lot. And again, he's telling it about himself. He's not afraid to tell a story where he makes a mistake. And I have lots of other Uncle Ambrose stories I could share with you, but we'll save that for another time. For now, I just want to challenge you to start thinking about your family stories and maybe collecting family stories. Maybe you ask your parents, your grandparents, aunts and uncles, your cousins, tell some stories about themselves. Maybe you can give them a specific question. What kind of games did you play when you were young? What was your best summer job? What was your worst summer job? Let me tell you, I could tell you a story about my worst summer job. I was a door-to-door vacuum cleaner salesman. Now, if you know me, that's probably the worst job I could ever take on. So, I'll tell you that story sometime too, perhaps. But for now, find your own stories. Tell your own stories, right? In the musical Hamilton, who tells your story? Tell it yourself. So I hope you have a good time trying to collect stories, listening to stories, telling stories as you go on. Just find some joy.
Hello. I would like to invite you into a time of meditation. And we're going to do something a little different today. I want you to get comfortable. If your body is cooperating with you today, and you're not too stiff first thing in the morning to sit on the floor, I recommend you do so. If you can do crisscross applesauce, that's great. You are welcome to sit in your chairs. You're welcome to sit on the couch. What I want you to do is to get comfortable first. We're going to try laughing. We're going to try a laughing meditation. The first thing I want you to do, the most important part of laughing meditation, is to smile. I want you first to smile. Just let the smile come over your face and breathe with it. Just breathe with a smile. Just keep doing that for a minute. I'm going to need you to put aside all senses of modesty in this. Put away your pride for a little bit, because we're all about to look a little silly. I want you to breathe in, and when you breathe out at the end of the breath, laugh. I want you to do that with me. Breathe in, out, laugh. And now what we're going to do is, instead of on that breathing in, stopping our laugh, I want you to continue it. Try it with me. One more time. And this time, I want you to let go of everything. Feel the laughter just take over your body. Put away any sense of propriety, modesty. You're with someone you love. You're with your kids. You're with your parents. Even if you're by yourself, and your cats aren't going to judge you any more than they already do. Go ahead and let this one be the biggest one yet. Just breathe. Go ahead and smile and just breathe. Come in.
Is everything okay?
Come in. I'm recording.
Oh.
Come in. No, you're in the video now. Come on. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Okay.
This is my son. William, why are you here?
I don't know, I heard lots of laughing and I got kind of concerned.
You got kind of concerned. Why?
I don't know, you sounded like the Joker.
Sounded like the Joker. So, yeah. It can be a little concerning when laughter comes out of nowhere. It can be stark. It can be sudden. But it's letting go of our bodies and being okay and just letting loose without being embarrassed.
Okay, I'm gonna go back.
I hope you've laughed hard enough to wake up your kids. I hope you've laughed hard enough to startle your cats. I hope you've laughed hard enough to jar something loose and to maybe make a shift in your body that makes things feel just a little better. Blessed be. Bill.
Yeah.
Bill, you were nervous a little bit at the beginning. I'm just checking in. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. Okay, still a little anxiety because you never know how things go over.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've had some good stuff. I really appreciate some of the work we've had so far with some of the congregants and the jokes. The jokes have been pretty good.
They are. I guess I would say, why is this important?
What?
Why, doing the thing on laughter and humor, why are we doing that?
Why are we doing a service on laughter and humor? Yeah. I'm going to hold off on that. I'm going to wait till the end of the service. So we'll see.
Okay.
Please join me in the spirit of meditation and of prayer. Just take a deep breath. Breathe. How do you pray? Do you pray with tears that stream from your grief, allowing sorrow to settle and sift through your soul, curing with salt what cannot be cured? Do you pray with your hands that worry and work, the motion becoming meaning, translating the unseen into the seen, the intangible into reality, merging yourself with the Creator by being the Creator? Do you pray with your voice, singing beauty to being, adding your harmonies till your voice is lost and larger? Or do you pray with laughter, a giggling gasp to salute the sacred, joy turned into a feast for the ear, a sacred communion, inviting all to share in the lightness that your soul has seized? Tears, voices, hands, laughter, all are prayers when you allow them to connect your heart to the heart of all. Even breathing is a prayer. I remind you that if there was someone you wish to lift up, someone who you wish to have a prayer said for, to have thoughts sent toward, feel free to, in the comments section, use the hashtag Book of Life to let people know that there is someone who you are holding dear. Put their name in, hashtag Book of Life, followed by their name. May you be at peace. May you know you are loved. Blessed be.
I would like to share a thought that came to me as I was reflecting on the fact that I do enjoy telling stories and sitting around the table listening to stories of family and friends. I think there's a physical transformation in me as I laugh and as I sit around the table with family and friends. My family will tell you that there's a specific transformation and that I start talking much more quickly when I am in New Jersey and sitting around the table with my siblings. I also notice when I'm on Zoom call with my siblings now and we're telling stories, I'll tend to lean in more, wanting to join the conversation, wanting to hear it. But that physical transformation I also notice in past times when I'm sitting around, I'm laughing so much and you have a big belly laugh, I just have to stand up in order to get the full effect and value of that belly laugh. So yes, laughter makes me feel good. It's a good feeling.
Why do seagulls not stay on the bay?
Why?
Because they would be called bagels.
Humor. What's so great about it? Why do a service about it? Why don't we just do a whole bunch of jokes? I left my job at the helium factory the other day because I would not be talked to in that tone of voice. Why do we need to do all these silly jokes? The one thing I want you to take away from today is that laughter seems so silly and so frivolous. But what laughter does is a way to recapture your spirit, to center yourself just for a split second. Think about it. When we did our laughing meditation, you had to find a way to breathe. When you get that beautiful full belly laugh, you have to stop and catch your breath. It makes you take those deep, cleansing breaths. Laughing so hard you can't breathe, so you have to stop and slow down. It's a way to recharge and reset. We are always told, take a deep breath when you are stressed. Take a deep laugh. So often we're told that these moments of humor are frivolous and unnecessary. And I think in these times they're the most needed things in the world. So I want to leave you with a reading. This is a Tao story that's in The Blessings of Imperfections by G. Peter Fleck. I ran across this the other day. And I think it talks a lot about what's really important. A carpenter and his apprentice were walking together through a large forest. And when they came to a tall, large, gnarled, old, beautiful oak tree, the carpenter asked his apprentice, "Do you know why this tree is so tall, so huge, so gnarled, so old and beautiful?" And the apprentice looked at the tree and looked at its master and said, No, why?" "Well," the carpenter said, "because this tree is useless. If it had been useful, it would have been cut down and made into tables, into chairs. But because it's useless, it could grow tall and beautiful so that you can sit under its shade and relax. Don't discount the frivolous things. Don't discount taking time to laugh. Don't discount the deep belly breaths that you have to force yourself to make. We need them right now.
Whoever stole my antidepressants, I hope you're happy.
Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Don't you know everyone wants to laugh? My dad said, be an actor, my son, but be a comical and be standing in line for those little honky-tonk monkey shows. Oh, you could study Shakespeare and be quite elite, and you could shun the critics and have nothing to eat, but slip on a banana, feel the world at your feet. Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Don't you know all the world wants to laugh? My grandpa said go out and tell 'em a joke, but give it plenty of hope. Make 'em roar, make 'em scream. Take the fall, but a wall, split a seam. You start out by pretending you're a dancer with grace, then wiggle till they're giggling all over the place. And then you get a great big custard pie in your face. Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh.
One thing that the recent pandemic taught us is that we are the church. All of us together create a beloved community. We may be away from our building for a while, but we find sanctuary in each other and the connections that we maintain. The work of this congregation still continues through covenant groups, religious education, our delightful music program, our social justice ministries, our pastoral care team, and many more groups and offerings. The mission of this congregation continues through these times when we realize how important it is to be part of a community. We are temporarily suspending our Share the Plate program to focus on all the ministries in this church community. By giving to UUCA, you invest in the spiritual center that keeps us all connected. You invest in all of us. As you can see by the information to be printed on your screen, you can mail a check payable to UUCA with the word offering or pledge on the memo line. Second, you can give online at the church website, uucava.org. Click on the donate button on the top of the page. Or you can donate by text, or you can donate by using the mobile app Give Plus. Just enter the zip code 22204, choose our church, UUCA, and follow the prompts. And now let us remember and hold dear the three eloquent parts of our offertory prayer of gratitude. Let us be grateful when we are able to give, for many do not have that privilege. Let us be grateful for those who share their gifts with us, for we are enriched by their giving. Let us be grateful even for our own needs, so that we may learn from the generosity of others.
Did you hear? A cartoonist was found dead. Details are sketchy.
I just read an article about how ships are kept together. It was riveting.
Bill?
Yes,
I think that went really well. What did you think?
I think so too. It's always good just to be finished, of course. But but looking back on it, it was fun to work on, and it was fun to do, and I had some smiles, and I think that's important.
What I really loved is I love Sophia's work on the Toot Suite. That's always fun to see what she does, and all of the kids in the funny faces that they made really that made me laugh.
It's good. It's good for the spirit.
Yeah. So how do you feel?
I feel good. I feel good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
See, this was the point. You asked me earlier, why are we doing a service on humor? I don't know about you, but I've just had the worst time over the past few weeks. There's been so much stress going on. Have you been stressed at all?
Oh, there is anxiety in the world.
Yeah,
Yes.
just a little bit of anxiety. And I have found that anxiety is like a rubber band, right? And it stretches you taut, and you can't hold that for long. And that moment of humor, that moment of silliness, you need that to snap every once in a while, to snap back, to give some a break. And I think that laughter, it seems silly, but it makes us lighter. So you feel lighter?
I definitely do. I definitely do.
Good. See, that's why I wanted to do this. I wanted to have a little break and for us to find the spirit in laughter. So do you think that worked? Do you think the congregation laughed? Do you think the congregation thought we were funny?
We'll see.